at the time of closing if you're gonna like own the house. So then you're like, well, I have to be there, and they're like, well, you're not on anything, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not on anything anyways? Like, we're buying it, like we're buying this house together, I'm paying for this.
When people do the most, I do the analysis. Let's go. So I came across a TikTok from a creator named Leah, and her story honestly stopped me in my tracks. And when I tell you that this young woman is being dragged all through TikTok, I mean, nobody's showing her grace. Leah explained that she bought her first house when she was just 20 years old, which is quite impressive if you ask me. Let's just start there. A lot of people twice that age are still trying to reach that milestone, so that's a big accomplishment right there. But Leah eventually decided to sell her house so she and her boyfriend could buy another house together in New York. And exactly why did she choose to sell her first house? So she could use the proceeds to make a down payment on her next house that she was buying with her boyfriend. So here's where things took a turn. Leah says when the new house was purchased, she didn't attend the closing. Why not, you ask? Because that same boyfriend, his realtor, and his attorney all told her it wasn't necessary for her to physically be there. Well, later on, she found out something that shocked her. Her name is only on the mortgage note, meaning she is legally responsible for making the loan payments each month. But her name is not on the deed, which means she does not legally own the property. And when I heard that, my first reaction wasn't to bash or clown her. My reaction was more like, wait a minute, how does something like that even happen? Because when you buy property, there are lots of documents involved and they don't all mean the same thing. The mortgage note basically says that you're responsible for paying this loan back for 30 years. The deed, on the other hand, determines who actually owns the property. So it's technically possible for someone to be financially responsible for the house without actually owning it. And that's exactly why situations like Liz can become very risky. Now, again, I'm not dragging her, but stories like this are important because they can be learning moments for other people. This story does highlight, though, something that I personally think is really important. Being physically present at your closing. A closing is the moment where everything becomes official. You're signing stacks of documents, and those documents will determine things like who the property owner is, who owes the money, and what rights each person has. So if you're not there, you're trusting everything to be handled exactly the way you expect it to. And sometimes things just don't turn out that way. Another thing that stood out to me is the importance of having your own real estate attorney. A good attorney's job is to look through those documents and make sure things like the deed, title, and ownership structure actually reflect what you intended. And you're not going to sign a single piece of paper before your attorney has reviewed it first and let you know that it's okay for you to sign. When two people are buying a home together, married or not, there are multiple ways that ownership can be structured, but it only works if that paperwork actually lists both parties on the deed. Because once those documents are recorded, changing them later can be way more complicated. And know this, Leah's boyfriend isn't obligated to add her to the deed unless she takes him to court. Situations involving couples can get even trickier when the people involved aren't actually married. And that's not a judgment from me. It's just the legal reality. Property law doesn't operate on vibes or intentions. It operates on what's written and what's recorded in your local county in pure black and white. So if someone is on the mortgage but not on the deed, the bank can still come after them for late payments, even though they don't technically own the house. Now, that's a tough position to be in. Hopefully, Leah is able to get clarity on the situation and figure out what options she has moving forward. From the sound of things, Leah is still trusting her boyfriend to figure things out.
And I'm not on the deed of my own house, and on top of that, the previous owners didn't pay any of their bills for like 2 years, so then you had to pay all the outstanding bills on your house, And then you told the lawyer, like, hey, they didn't pay any of their bills. And they're like, he's like, oh, just pay it. Like, I'll reach out to them. It'll be fine. I'll just pay it. So then you pay like hundreds of dollars in outstanding bills, and then you never hear back from him about it.
Buying a house is one of the biggest financial decisions most people will ever make. And the paperwork matters more than people sometimes realize. But Leah's story is also a reminder for anyone thinking about buying property with a partner. First and foremost, hire a real estate attorney to represent your interests. Be present at that closing. Know what you're signing and make sure your attorney has seen it first. And last but not least, ask questions. The only dumb questions are the ones you never ask. Now, before I wrap things up, I do want to mention something right quick that might be an option in situations like this. If Leah's boyfriend honestly intends for her to have ownership of the property, one possible solution could be something called a quitclaim deed. A quitclaim deed is basically a legal document that allows someone who currently holds ownership of the property to transfer or add their ownership interest to another person. In simple terms, it can be used to add somebody's name to the deed after the property has already been purchased. Now, of course, I'm not giving legal advice here, and every situation is different. I happen to live in the state of Illinois, and I used a quitclaim deed to add my husband to our first house, which I had purchased as a single woman. People use quitclaim deeds between spouses, family members, or partners when they want to adjust ownership without going through the whole new home purchase. There can also be tax implications or lender requirements, so it's always smart to talk to a real estate attorney or a title professional before doing something like that in your state. But if both parties are on the same page and the intention was always for Leah to share ownership, a quitclaim deed could potentially be one way to correct the paperwork and add her name to the title. Again, that's something professionals would need to handle, but it does show that situations like Leah's aren't impossible to fix.
This comment is not really applicable to what I'm going to say, but thank you, Gianna, for saying something actually nice on my video. But a lot of people are saying that my boyfriend is this scam artist who scammed me and took my money and all this stuff. And that's one thing I'm not going to play about. No. My boyfriend is the nicest, kindest, sweetest person I personally know. He's better than I. He is better than I. And you don't have to believe me. No one else has to believe me, but I know he would never do that to me. And that's all that matters. So you can think I'm stupid, whatever. He is the one who's spearheading getting this fixed. So, yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Don't be mean about my boyfriend. Period. Okay?
Trust is beautiful in relationships, but real estate is business. Do you think this was blind trust or just a costly mistake? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share this video with someone who can use this message. I'm curious to know what you all think about this situation. Leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts. Then meet me in the comments. We can continue the conversation there.